Now that we have our database set up with a query, I'd like to just go back to a table and show you how to set up um, data validation on a table. So we'll go to the member table and we're going to the design view of the member table. Here are our fields in the table. The one we're particularly going to look at is postcode. Now, postcode in Australia has a 4-digit value. And what we want to do is to make sure that when the postcodes are entered, they're entered correctly, so that there's only 4 digits allowed. And the way we can do that is by putting in what's called an input mask. What that does is tells us what the input will look like. Now, the input mask has a whole lot of symbols associated with it, which we're not going to worry about too much. All you need to know is that a 0 in an input mask is a mandatory number entry. So if I put 10, that means it would only allow one number to be placed in. 2 would allow 2, 3, and 4 means that you must enter 4 numbers. If you try and enter less than that, it will tell you that it's not complete. If you try to add more than that, it will tell you that's not allowed. So that's how to start with our validation on or data validation on a field. Let's just see how that works. So if I go to just save that and then view our member table. If I go to add in another member, so let's just put in another number, so we'll call that 46. Okay. Okay, so we've entered in this data for Slarty Bartfast as a member. Now we're going to enter in the postcode, and I'm deliberately going to make a mistake. So I'm going to 3, 4, 5, and immediately it tells me that I've started at the wrong end. So let's just do this again. We're going to go 3, 7, 8, 9. Now, immediately when I try to enter in another number after this one, it's telling me, will give me a beep saying that it won't work. So that means that we've now got it so that if you try to enter in less than 4 or more than 4, it will indicate that there's a problem. Okay, that's the first part of the validation. The second part, and we're just going to delete this, and I'll explain why in a minute. And there's telling me I'm got a mistake again. I'm actually going to get rid of this. Delete the record. Yes. Now we go back to member. And again to postcode. This time, we're actually going to set specifically that we can only allow Victorian postcodes. So how does that work? Well, it's if we enter our postcode, it's got to be greater than or from 3,000 onwards, and it can't be more than 4,000 because that's another state's postcode. So it's got to be in the 3,000. So how do we do that? Well, we put in the following. So coming back to our table, we're going to enter in this, we have entered in this validation rule, and it says that the postcode, because we're on the postcode field up here, needs to be greater than 2,999. In other words, it's got to be 3,000, and it's got to be less than 4,000. So 3,999 would be the highest value. We can also enter in a little bit of a prompt here, if you like, if they make an error, and it's saying enter in a Victorian postcode starting with 3. So we've made sure that they're going to enter in 4 digits, and we've also restricted the range here on the sorts of postcodes they can enter. So let's just have a look what actually happens here. So we close that, and we remember. All right, we're going to start that entrance in again, and we're going to put Slarty. All right, so we've got Slarty Bart Faster's information again. Now I'm going to make a mistake and enter in an incorrect postcode. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now immediately, when I tried to enter in the 6, it told me that something was wrong. Now then I'll go to the next field, and you'll notice that enter a Victorian postcode starting with 3. So it's picked up that that postcode is not within the appropriate range to input, and therefore gives us this message to re-enter the postcode. So that is how to set up data validation on a database, in particular fields on a database.